Chosen one, stop. Just stop right there. Don't scroll. Don't skip ahead. Don't let the noise of your day pull you away from what I'm about to say, because I need you to hear this with everything you've got. This is not another video. This is not another message you stumbled onto by accident. Heaven doesn't do accidents. Something shifted in the spirit before you even pressed play. And whether you feel it yet or not, you were summoned here. Now, listen to me carefully. There are two kinds of time. Clock time, the kind that wakes you up, bills you monthly, and ages your face in the mirror. Then there's God's time, sacred time, appointed time, the kind that doesn't tick, it arrives. And when it arrives, chosen one, everything ordinary stops. The next 48 hours are that kind of time. But I need you to hear what God is actually saying, because He is not telling you that you have 48 hours to earn something. He is saying you may be within 48 hours of finally becoming able to receive what has already been waiting at your door. And that door has been standing open longer than you know. You prayed for it, then got tired of hearing yourself pray for the same thing. You hoped for it, then quietly learned how to make peace with disappointment, because disappointment, at least, never lied to you. You survived so much that survival started feeling safer than expectation. I know that place. God sees that place. And He sent this word directly into it. Before this message ends, I'm going to show you the real reason some blessings circle your life for years, close enough to feel, too far to hold. And near the end, I'm going to show you why some of you are closer than you have ever been, but still emotionally standing outside your own answered prayer. Like runway lights already glowing and the plane already descending, but your feet still won't move toward the gate. This is not about hype. This is about readiness. If this message found you at the exact right moment, type right now, I am ready to receive. Stay all the way through. This message builds in layers. And the final layer is the one most people never live long enough to hear. I need to ask you something, and I need you to answer it honestly, not out loud, not for me, but somewhere deep inside where only you and God can hear it. When was the last time you expected something good without flinching? When was the last time a door started opening and you didn't immediately brace yourself for it to slam shut again? Think about that. Really think about it. Because something happened to you during the waiting. Something nobody talks about from the pulpit. Something the church celebrates around but rarely walks directly into. The waiting changed you. Not your faith, not your love for God, but something quieter, something deeper, something in the way your soul learned to hold hope. And I want to name it today because God sees it, and He sent this word directly to that place. Here is what delay does to a person. At first it feels temporary. You pray, you believe, you tell yourself it's coming. You check the mailbox of heaven every morning with expectation. You're patient, you're faithful. You quote Habakkuk 2-3. You wait. Then weeks become months, months become years, and delay stops feeling temporary. It starts feeling confusing. You begin asking the questions you're almost ashamed to ask. Did I mishear God? Did I do something wrong? Is this promise even for me? Then, and this is the part that breaks my heart to say, delay becomes humiliating. You watched people around you step into what you've been praying for. Younger people, people who seemed less prepared, people who didn't even appear to be seeking God the way you were. And you smiled at their blessing, while something inside you quietly fractured. You never told anyone about that fracture, but God saw it. And then the most dangerous thing of all happened. You adapted. You stopped praying boldly. Not because you stopped believing in God, but because you got tired of being emotionally shattered by hope. You stopped imagining goodness arriving suddenly. You stopped expecting the phone call, the breakthrough, the shift. You learned how to live inside the waiting so skillfully that expectation itself started feeling dangerous. Some of you did not stop loving God. You just stopped knowing how to hold expectation without pain. You learned how to survive disappointment so well that now even good news makes you nervous. That is not weakness. That is what happens to a human heart after years of trusting in the dark. Abraham waited 25 years for Isaac, 25 years of watching Sarah's face, 25 years of unanswered mornings. The Bible says he was fully persuaded, but it doesn't say he never felt the weight of that silence. Romans 4:20 tells us he didn't waver in unbelief, but he was still a man, still flesh, still counting years on a calendar that seemed to be working against him. Joseph sat in that prison forgotten, not for a week, not for a season, for years. Genesis 40:23 says the cupbearer forgot him completely. No visits, no updates, no signs, just silence and stone walls and the slow erosion of what hope feels like. David was anointed king as a teenager and then went right back to the fields, back to the sheep, back to being overlooked by the very family that watched Samuel pour oil on his head. Anointed but not yet enthroned, chosen but treated as invisible. And Sarah, precious Sarah, when the angel told Abraham she would bear a son, she laughed, not from joy, from exhausted disbelief. Genesis 18:12. She laughed the way a person laughs when they've been hurt so many times by hope that the only defense left is to stop taking it seriously. That laugh wasn't faithless, it was human, and God still fulfilled the promise. Now hear me, chosen one. Hear me clearly. The delay was not the deepest problem. The deeper issue is what delay did to your inner receiver, like frost creeping across a window slowly, silently, until you can no longer see clearly through the glass that was once open to the light. Like a hand burned by fire that pulls back now even from warmth, even from something good, even from something it was made to hold. Like soil that has gone through too many dry seasons. The ground still exists, the seed is still there, but the earth has hardened around the waiting, and even when rain finally comes, it takes time for the soil to open again. That is what happened to some of you. The blessing didn't disappear. God didn't forget. The promise didn't expire. But somewhere along the way, your heart learned to protect itself from the very thing it was created to receive. And God is standing here today, not with condemnation, but with a question more urgent than any I've asked so far. What if you are closer than you have ever been, but your heart doesn't know how to let it in yet? If you know what it feels like to wait longer than you ever thought you would type right now, God kept me, because He did. Every single day He did. And what He kept you for, chosen one, is exactly what we're about to step into next. Let me tell you something that may be the most important truth you hear this year. God was not teasing you. He was not dangling your future over your head like it was some kind of spiritual test you kept failing. He was not sitting on a throne, arms crossed, watching you struggle, waiting for you to say the right prayer in the right order with the right amount of tears. No, He was building you. And there is a massive difference between a God who withholds and a God who forms. One leaves you empty, the other leaves you unbreakable. Here is what nobody tells you about delayed blessings. The blessing was never just sitting in heaven, locked behind a door, waiting for the right moment to fall into your lap. Something else was happening simultaneously, something more costly, something more sacred. A stronger version of you was being constructed right here on earth. And that construction, chosen one, required every single thing you thought was wasted. Every lonely year, every unanswered prayer, every morning you got up and kept going when absolutely nothing in your circumstances told you to. That was not wasted time. That was load-bearing work. Heaven was reinforcing the bridge before letting the weight cross it. Think about Joseph, young man, 17 years old. God gives him a dream so large it would have intimidated a grown king. And what happens next? His own brothers throw him in a pit. He gets sold into slavery. He serves faithfully and lands in prison anyway. 13 years, chosen one. 13 years between the dream and the throne. Now ask yourself this question and really sit with it. What if Joseph had arrived in Egypt as prime minister at 18? He would have had the dream but not the soul to carry it. He would have had the title but not the discernment to navigate betrayal at that level. He would have had the power, but power without formation destroys the very person holding it. The prison was not punishment. The prison was the classroom, and God was the one who never left that cell. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness of Midian, not wandering, forming. David wrote his most powerful psalms not from a palace but from a cave, surrounded by darkness, hunted like an animal, crying out to a God who seemed silent. Esther spent months in preparation before she ever stood before the king, and that preparation was the very thing that gave her the composure to save an entire nation. Do you see the pattern? God does not rush formation, and he does not apologize for the time it takes. Now, here is where this gets deeply personal, and I need you to stay with me. Some doors in your life have not opened yet, because your discernment was not ready to recognize what was on the other side. Some relationships have not arrived yet, because your identity was still too fragile to survive them. Some provision has been held not to punish you, but because an earlier version of you would have been destroyed by it. Some visibility has been delayed because character must always be built before exposure arrives, or exposure becomes the very thing that unravels you. A wine vessel must be cured before it can hold what it was made to carry. A violin must be tightened, tuned to the right tension before the concert can begin. You do not rush that process, you honor it. And God has been honoring you through it. This is the reframe that changes everything. Chosen one. The greatest gift God may have been preparing this entire time was not just the external breakthrough, it was you. The transformed, refined, weight-bearing, battle-tested version of you that can now actually receive what an earlier version would have fumbled, mishandled, or been consumed by. The blessing did not skip you. You were the blessing being built. Say this quietly over yourself right now. Not loudly, not performatively. Just let it settle into your bones like warm light filling a cold room. The waiting was not empty. God was forming me. Say it again. The waiting was not empty. God was forming me. Because here is what I know after walking with God through decades of ministry and decades of life. The people who receive lasting breakthroughs are almost never the people who arrived fastest. They are the people who were formed deepest. They are the ones who came through the fire and did not smell like smoke. The ones who came out of the cave still worshipping. The ones who walked out of the prison and immediately had the character to run a nation. That is who you are becoming. That is who you may have already become without fully realizing it yet. And that leads to the most important question left in this. If God has truly been forming you all this time, if the preparation is real and the timing is now, then why do some of you still feel blocked? Why does the door still feel heavy, even when the lock has already turned? That answer is coming, and it may be the one thing standing between you and everything God has already released in your name. Why some blessings arrive near you but don't fully enter. Now I need to say something that most people never say out loud. And I need you to sit with it, really sit with it, because this is the part of the message that changes everything. The problem is not that God stopped moving. The problem is not that your blessing was cancelled. The problem, and I say this with all the love in my heart, is that somewhere along the way, you stopped being able to receive it. Stay with me, because this is not condemnation. This is diagnosis. There is a difference, a profound, life-altering difference between praying for something and being internally open to receiving it. You can pray every morning. You can speak the scripture. You can stand in church with your hands raised and your eyes closed and your voice full of faith. And still deep in the basement of your spirit, there is a door you have quietly, carefully, and completely shut. Not in rebellion, Not because you stopped loving God, but because you have been hurt, disappointed, let down by timing you didn't understand, and silence you couldn't explain. And pain, chosen one, repeated pain, does something to the human soul that nobody talks about enough. It builds armor. First, it lowers your expectations just a little, just enough to protect yourself next time. Then, it teaches you to be suspicious of goodness, because goodness, in your experience, sometimes turned into grief. Then, it plants whispers, so quiet you almost don't hear them anymore. Whispers like, "It won't happen for me. Maybe I missed my window." Blessing like that belongs to other people, younger people, people who haven't made the mistakes I've made. And the most dangerous whisper of all, the one that hides behind wisdom and calls itself realism. I can survive hardship better than I can trust joy. Read that again. I can survive hardship better than I can trust joy. Some of you have become so skilled at endurance that you've accidentally made a home in it. And the idea of actually receiving what you've been praying for, really receiving it, fully, without waiting for it to be taken away, that idea feels more frightening than the waiting ever did. That is not weakness. That is a wounded receiving system. And God sees it. Hebrews 12:13 says, "Make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be dislocated, but rather be healed. The path to your promise may be clear." But if the receiving channel inside you has been fractured by years of disappointment, even an open door won't feel safe to walk through. Here is where I need to ask you something directly. Have you ever prayed for someone else, a friend, a child, a stranger, and believed God completely? Believed it with fire and certainty, but when it comes to your own life, something hesitates? Some of you can shout amen over another person's miracle while internally bracing yourself against your own. Some of you say, "Lord, I trust you," and mean it, while a deeper part of you has already decided that the good news, when it comes, will come with a catch. That is not a faith problem. That is a wound that never finished healing. And God is not angry at you for it, but He is right now, in these 48 hours, pressing His hand against exactly that place. Think of a radio. The signal is there, strong, clear, broadcasting at full power. But if the receiver is damaged, if the antenna is bent, if the connection is broken inside, you get nothing but static. Not because the signal stopped, because the reception was broken. That is what happens to a soul that has carried too much disappointment for too long. The blessing is broadcasting, heaven is transmitting, but the receiver inside you, the part that was built to say yes, to open wide, to welcome what God prepared, that part learned through pain to stay guarded. And right now, somewhere beneath the surface of your life, something is beginning to shift. Like curtains in a house where morning has already come, the light is there, pressing against the fabric, waiting, and all it takes is someone willing to reach up and pull them back. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you 3 signs that your receiver is reopening. And one of them, I promise you, this may already be happening in your life right now, without you even realizing it. But first, if you have ever believed God more easily for someone else than for yourself, type right now, "Lord, reopen my heart." Because the next part of this message is where many of you are going to recognize for the very first time exactly what heaven has been doing in you lately. And when you see it, you will never look at this season the same way again. Now, stay with me, because what I'm about to share, this is the part most people fast forward through, and that is exactly why most people never cross the threshold. You've been watching, you've been listening, and something inside you is already stirring, something you haven't felt in a long time. Don't dismiss that. Don't explain it away. That stirring is not random. That is sign 1. You are feeling again. And I don't mean feeling good. I mean feeling, period. The tears come a little easier lately. Something on the television, a song from years ago, a grandchild's laugh, and without warning, something breaks open in your chest. You think you're getting soft. You think age is making you emotional. But chosen one, what if that's not weakness? What if that is your spirit thawing? Ezekiel 36:26 says it plainly. God said, "I will remove the heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." Stone doesn't feel. Stone doesn't weep. Stone doesn't tremble at beauty or ache at memory. But flesh does. And if you are feeling things again deeply, unexpectedly, almost embarrassingly, that is not decline. That is God performing surgery on the inside of you. That numbness you lived in for so long, it protected you. It kept you functional through loss, through grief, through seasons that should have destroyed you. But numbness was never meant to be permanent. It was a bandage, not a home. And right now, God is removing the bandage, not because the wound is gone, but because the healing has finally gone deep enough. Your sensitivity is not a sign that you are falling apart. It is a sign that you are coming back together. Sign 2. The old patterns no longer fit. You notice it, don't you? The cynicism that used to feel like wisdom, now it just tastes bitter. The isolation that used to feel like peace, now it presses down on you like a ceiling that's too low. The small, careful life you built to protect yourself from more disappointment, it used to feel safe. Now it feels like a cage, and you can't explain why. Nothing dramatic happened, no crisis, no revelation, just this quiet, persistent restlessness that won't let you settle the way you used to. Here's what I need you to understand. God is not punishing you with that restlessness. He is disrupting you on purpose. Because the structures that helped you survive the last season cannot carry you into the next one. The container that held your pain, it is too small for your promise. Proverbs 4:18 says, "The path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day." Not dimmer, not smaller, brighter. If your old patterns are suddenly uncomfortable, chosen one, that discomfort is directional. God doesn't unsettle a person he has abandoned. He unsettles the ones he is moving. The restlessness you feel is not instability. It is the sound of a door you stopped believing in, beginning to move. Sign 3. You feel both fear and nearness at the exact same time. This one is the most misunderstood sign of all. You feel something coming. You can't name it, can't see it, can't fully explain it, but it is there, close, closer than it has ever been. And right alongside that nearness there is fear. Not the fear of danger, the fear of something that actually matters. Listen to me. That combination, that trembling mixed with expectancy, that specific feeling of being right on the edge of something enormous that is not a warning to retreat, that is what a threshold feels like. Ruth trembled at the edge of Boaz's field. Mary trembled when the angel spoke. Peter trembled when he stepped out of the boat. Every single one of them was standing exactly where you are standing right now, on the edge, afraid, and closer to the miracle than they had ever been in their lives. The fear you feel is not God telling you to stop. The fear you feel is proof that something real is near. Because we only fear what matters. And this matters. You may have spent years telling yourself that expectation is dangerous, that hoping again only sets you up to hurt again, that the safer thing is to keep your head down and your heart small, but chosen one, that was survival talking. And you were built for more than survival. Something is already changing within you. You may not see it in your circumstances yet, but it is moving in the deepest places, in the places where God does his most sacred work, quietly, before the world sees anything at all. Frozen ground doesn't announce when it begins to soften. A rusted gate doesn't send a warning before it starts to move. Dawn doesn't ask permission before it breaks the darkness, and it always starts as discomfort to eyes that have been in the dark too long. If you feel your heart waking up again, even after everything, type right now, "My spirit is opening," because here is what I need you to hold on to as we go deeper. These 3 signs are not the destination. They are the evidence that the door is already moving. But there is still one thing that many people do right at this exact moment, right at the edge of breakthrough, that sends them all the way back to the beginning. And you must not miss what comes next. I need to ask you something, and I need you to sit with it. Really sit with it. Not just hear it, feel it. When was the last time you actually let something good come to you without bracing for it to be taken away? When was the last time you stood in front of a blessing, a real, heaven-sent, God-ordained blessing, and instead of reaching for it, you froze? Because, chosen one, that is the conversation we need to have right now. Not about how hard you've prayed, not about how long you've waited, not about how faithful you've been through the fire. We need to talk about your hands. Because here is the truth that most preachers will never say out loud, and it may be the most important thing you hear today. Closed hands cannot receive, even when heaven is pouring. Read that again in your spirit. God can open every door. He can remove every obstacle. He can silence every enemy. He can align every circumstance. And still, if your hands are closed, the blessing cannot land. And the frightening part? Most people don't even know their hands are closed. They think they're ready. They've been praying. They've been declaring. They've been faithful. But deep underneath all that striving, underneath the declarations and the devotion, they are gripping something so tightly that there is simply no room left to receive. And what are they gripping? Grief they never fully released. Vows they made in pain that they forgot to unmake. Disappointment that moved in quietly and never left. Old definitions of who they are, the struggling one, the overlooked one, the one things never quite work out for. Old timelines, the idea that because it didn't come by a certain age, a certain year, a certain season, it must not be coming at all. Chosen one. You cannot enter a new season while gripping the emotional wreckage of the old one. That is not judgment. That is love speaking plainly. Think about Abraham. God called him into the impossible, and Abraham had to open his hands to everything familiar. His land, his people, his certainty, his plan. He had to release the known before he could receive the promised. Think about the Israelites in the wilderness. God sent manna fresh every single morning. But here is what many people miss. Yesterday's manna would rot. You couldn't stockpile it. You couldn't control it. You had to release the need to hoard and trust that tomorrow's provision was already decided. Daily. Open hands. Every single morning. Think about Mary. The angel walks in with the most impossible announcement in human history. And Mary, young, afraid, with every reason to protect herself, opens her hands and says, "Let it be done unto me according to your word." She didn't fully understand it. She couldn't fully explain it. But she received it, because her hands were open. And then there's Esther, standing at the threshold of the king's court, uninvited, trembling, knowing the risk. And she stepped through anyway, not because she had certainty, but because she had surrender. That is the pattern, chosen one. That is always the pattern. The final act is never striving harder. The final act is always surrendering deeper. Now let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. What are you still holding on to that is quietly making it impossible to receive what God has already released? Is it an old wound you've carried so long it started to feel like identity? Is it a disappointment so deep you built your whole emotional life around not being disappointed again? Is it a timeline, the feeling that you are too old now, too tired now, too far behind now, for the promise to still apply? Because here is what I know. You wouldn't still be watching this if God hadn't already arranged this moment. You wouldn't still be here if something in your spirit wasn't stirring, recognizing, responding to what heaven is saying right now. Imagine a room so cluttered with broken furniture, every piece, a reminder of what didn't work, what hurt you, what failed, that there is simply no floor space for anything new to come in. God is standing at the door with something beautiful, but the room is full. Imagine a ship in the harbor, ready to sail, wind in the sails, destination clear. But the old ropes are still tied to the dock. The ship cannot move, not because it isn't powerful enough, because it hasn't been released. That ship is you, chosen one. And those ropes have names. Right now, wherever you are sitting, wherever you are watching this, I want you to whisper something. Just whisper it. You don't have to shout it. Heaven hears whispers. Say this: Lord, I release what taught me to fear receiving. Say it like you mean it. Say it like your next season depends on it, because it does. And if this word is landing somewhere real inside you, type it right now. I open my hands. Because in the next section, I am going to show you exactly what these 48 hours may require from you, not to earn the blessing, but to finally align with what God has already been holding in your direction for longer than you know. The door is open, chosen one. Now will you walk through it? So now you know the truth. The blessing isn't missing. The door isn't locked. The promise hasn't expired. The question was never whether God was ready. The question has always been, are you positioned to receive it? And that changes everything. Because readiness is not passive. Readiness is not sitting in a chair waiting for lightning to strike. Readiness is a posture, a decision, a sacred act of cooperation with what heaven is already moving in your direction. So let me give you something real, something practical, something you can carry into the next 48 hours like a lantern in the dark. Step 1. Guard your atmosphere like your destiny depends on it, because it does. Chosen one. Not every voice deserves access to your spirit right now. Not every conversation, not every news channel, not every family member who has made a habit of reminding you of everything that hasn't worked. Proverbs 4:23 says it plainly, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything flows from it. So, for the next 48 hours, reduce the noise. Step back from the cynicism. Refuse to feed the fear. Because right now, deep inside you, something holy is trying to take root, and you cannot let the chaos of the world trample the very ground where your receiving is taking place. Protect that ground, like a farmer protects new seed from a coming storm. Step 2. Stop speaking the language of disqualification. You know exactly what I mean. Maybe it's too late for me. Maybe that kind of miracle is for younger people. Maybe I've waited so long that the window closed without me noticing. That language is a lie dressed in the voice of wisdom, and it has cost you more than you know. Romans 4:17 tells us that God calls things that are not as though they already are. That's not denial, that's divine declaration. And if God operates that way, then what gives you the right to keep declaring the opposite over your own life? Stop rehearsing why it can happen for everyone else but not for you. Replace every self-canceling word with expectancy rooted not in your feelings but in God's character. Because His character doesn't change based on how tired you are. Step 3. Make room. This is where it gets practical and prophetic at the same time. Clean a physical space in your home. Clear a chair. Set a table. Open a journal. Create visible, tangible room, because what you do in the natural speaks to what you're declaring in the spirit. You don't set a table after the guest arrives. You set it before. You don't tune the instrument after the concert starts. You tune it in the quiet, before anyone is watching. Sit with God. Pray with open hands, not clenched fists demanding, but open palms receiving. And write it down. Journal what you're believing for, because there is something powerful about seeing your faith in your own handwriting. Make room, because what's coming needs somewhere to land. Step 4. Thank God before you see a single thing change. Now I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds like pretending. That sounds like denying the reality of the pain I'm still sitting in. No, that is not what I'm saying. Gratitude before manifestation is not denial of pain. It is alignment with trust. It is your spirit saying, I believe you more than I believe my circumstances. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, not for all circumstances." In them, right in the middle of them. Thank God now, before the phone call comes, before the doctor's report changes, before the account balance shifts. Thank Him, because He is already working even when your eyes can't see the movement yet. Step 5. Obey the small instructions. This one right here. This is where most people miss it. Make the phone call you've been putting off. Rest when the Holy Spirit says rest, because even your body is part of your preparation. Forgive the person you've been carrying like a stone in your chest. Stop chasing what God never assigned to you in the first place. And pay close attention to the quiet nudges, the ones that feel almost too small to matter. Because in God's economy, small obedience opens enormous doors. The widow poured the last of her oil. Naaman dipped 7 times in a my river. David picked up 5 stones, not 1. Obedience rarely looks impressive in the moment, but it always looks like a miracle in hindsight. And now, chosen one, we arrive at the deepest part of this message. The part I've been building toward since the very first word. What if the real thing you are about to receive is bigger than the thing you've been naming? What if God has been holding something back not to punish you, but because what He prepared requires the version of you that only this waiting season could produce? For the next 48 hours, do not move like someone abandoned. Move like someone being prepared. Because what is coming through that door, you are finally ready to hold. Now I need you to lean in close, because what I'm about to say is going to change the way you see everything. Every delay, every closed door, every season that felt like God went quiet on you. You've been thinking about this all wrong. And I say that with the deepest love, because I thought about it wrong too. When most people hear the word blessing, they think arrival. Something coming toward them. A check, a healing, a phone call that finally changes everything. A door that finally swings open after years of knocking until your knuckles bled. And yes, God is a God of provision. Don't you dare shrink from that truth. But chosen one, what if the thing that's been waiting for you isn't only coming to you? What if it's been waiting to come through you? What if the blessing isn't just an arrival, it's an activation? What if what heaven has been holding back isn't a gift wrapped in paper, but a person? A fully formed, deeply healed, spiritually mature version of you, the only version strong enough to actually carry what God prepared. Because here is the truth that will shake you to your foundation. Some blessings cannot land in a broken vessel, not because God is withholding, but because God is protecting both the blessing and you. You cannot pour aged wine into a cracked cup. The wine is ready. The cup was still being fired in the kiln. And beloved, some of you have been in that fire for a very, very long time. Now hear me. What has been waiting for you may include peace you could not previously hold because your wounds were still too fresh and stillness felt dangerous. It may include an identity you were too hurt to fully step into because you kept seeing yourself through the eyes of people who never saw you clearly. It may include clarity you were too exhausted to trust because disappointment had taught you that hope was a liability. And it may include something even greater, a role, a calling, a voice, an influence that could only be carried by someone who has been broken but never became cruel, tested but never became bitter, overlooked but never stopped believing. Does that sound like anyone you know? Look at Caleb, 85 years old. 85. And he stood before Joshua and said, "Give me this mountain." Not a young man's boldness, a seasoned warrior's certainty. He didn't say, "I used to be strong." He said, "I am still strong for this very day." Look at Moses. 40 years in the wilderness before God spoke from a burning bush. 40 years that looked like failure. 40 years that were actually formation. Look at Anna, a widow, 84 years old, who never left the temple, praying, fasting, waiting. And heaven honored her with the single most sacred moment in human history, She held her eyes on the Messiah, while younger, faster, busier people walked right past him. Look at Simeon. He was told he would not die until he saw the Lord's Christ. He waited, he endured, he outlasted doubt itself. And when the moment came, he held Jesus in his arms and said, "Now, Lord, you can let your servant depart in peace." In peace, not in exhaustion, not in defeat. In peace. Chosen one, do you understand what that means for you? The length of your waiting is not evidence of God's neglect. It is evidence of the weight of what he is entrusting to you. Fruit that ripens slowly carries the deepest sweetness. Oil that is extracted under the greatest pressure burns the longest and the brightest. A key that takes the longest to forge opens the most important door. You are that key. And some of you have spent decades feeling like you were being ground down when heaven was actually grinding you into shape. Now I need to ask you something, and I want you to sit with this. What if every scar you carry is actually a credential? What if every year you thought you were falling behind, you were actually being qualified? What if the very things that made you feel disqualified are the exact things that make you irreplaceable for what comes next? Say this over your life right now. Say it out loud where you are sitting. I am not too late. I was being prepared for wait. Say it again like you mean it. I am not too late. I was being prepared for wait. Because the final minutes of this message are not about sitting and waiting for something to arrive. They are about you rising and stepping across a threshold that has had your name written above it since before you were born. The blessing was never just coming for you. It was always coming through you. And that changes everything about what happens next. I need you to stop everything right now. Not slow down. Stop. Because what I'm about to say is not for everyone watching this video. It is for the ones who have been carrying something so long they forgot what it felt like to put it down. It is for the ones who prayed until prayer felt like talking to a wall, who believed until belief started feeling like a fool's errand, who kept showing up to church, to God, to life, while quietly wondering if God had somehow moved on without them. If that is you, chosen one, then what you are feeling right now is not anxiety. That is a threshold, and you are standing right at the edge of it. You feel it, don't you? There is something unusual in the air around this moment. A stillness that does not feel empty, it feels loaded. Tears rising without a reason you can name. A holy restlessness pressing against your chest like something inside you is done waiting. A sudden, almost desperate desire to let go of something you have been gripping for years. That is not emotion. That is not coincidence. That is heaven getting quiet before it moves. The Bible says in Revelation 3-8, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." Not a cracked door, not a door that opens someday. An open door, right now, already opened. And the only question heaven is asking you in this moment is not when will you be ready. The question is, will you walk through it? Some of you have spent years asking God when. When will it change? When will it come? When will you finally move on my behalf? But this moment is not asking when. This moment is asking whether. Whether you will step forward differently this time. Whether you will receive without immediately shrinking back. Whether you will stop apologizing to yourself, to others, to God, for the sheer size of what He prepared for you before you were ever born. Because here is the truth that most people never face directly. You are not begging outside a locked gate. You are standing in front of a door that is already open, with your hand on the knob, trembling. And the trembling is not weakness. The trembling is proof that you know something real is on the other side. I want you to see this. Close your eyes for just a second and see it. Behind you, a long, cold hallway. Every disappointment you ever walked through, every prayer that seemed to go nowhere. Every morning you woke up and had to convince yourself to keep going. Every time someone told you it was too late, you were too old, the window had closed. That hallway is behind you now. In front of you, light, coming through the bottom of a door. Warm, steady, unmistakable light. Not the frantic light of a miracle you chased. The quiet, certain light of something that was always yours, waiting for you to be ready to carry it. Heaven is not forcing you through that door. Heaven never forces. Heaven invites. But tonight, the invitation has your name on it. And now I need to say the hardest thing in this entire message. The thing most preachers skip because it makes people uncomfortable. Sometimes, the final battle is not against the enemy, not against delay, not against people who tried to block you. Sometimes the final battle, the last one, the real one, is against the version of you that learned never to expect this much goodness. The version of you that got burned enough times that protection started feeling smarter than faith. The version of you that built walls so carefully, so expertly, that even blessings started bouncing off them. That version of you kept you alive through the hard seasons. But that version of you cannot walk through this door. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a season for everything, a time for every purpose under heaven." The season of guarded survival has served you. God honored every single day of it. But chosen one, that season is ending. And the sound you hear right now, that quiet rumbling in your spirit, that is not fear. That is the door swinging open. You have waited long enough. You have endured enough, carried enough, survived enough. And God is not asking you to earn one more thing. He is simply asking you to receive what He has already finished preparing. Romans 8:32 says, "He who did not spare His own Son, how will He not also, along with Him, freely give us all things?" All things, freely, already decided, already done. The only move left is yours. So right now, not at the end of this video, not when you feel more ready, not when your circumstances look better. Right now, in this sacred second, type these words: "I receive what God prepared for me." Do not just watch this moment. Answer it, because on the other side of this threshold is not just a blessing. On the other side is the version of you that God always saw, even when you couldn't. And that version of you has been waiting just as long as you have. We have come a long way together in this message, and I need you to know you did not make it to this moment by accident. Most people tap out early. Most people scroll away before the deep water, but you stayed. And that tells me something about you that even you may have forgotten. You still believe. Somewhere, underneath all that exhaustion, underneath all those years of waiting, underneath the scar tissue of disappointment, there is still a flame in you that refused to go out. That flame is why heaven sent this word straight to you today. So before we close, I am not going to let you leave the same way you arrived. We are going to do something right now. Together, I want you to place your hand over your chest. Feel that heartbeat. That is not just biology. That is God saying, not yet. There is still more. You are still here, because what was promised over your life has not expired. Now I want you to open your hands. Not in performance, not for anyone watching. Open them, because something is about to be placed in them, and a closed fist cannot receive what an open hand was made to hold. Speak this with me now. Let your lips move. Let your spirit agree. I release delay as rejection. I release the fear of disappointment. I release the lie that says it is for others, but never for me. I release the old version of myself, the one who learned to survive by expecting less. I open my spirit. I open my hands. I receive what heaven prepared in God's timing, not my timeline, not the world's timeline. His. Now let me pray over you. Father God, I come before you right now, on behalf of every chosen one who made it to this moment. You see them, Lord. You see the ones who have been strong for so long that they forgot what it felt like to be held. You see the ones who clap for everyone else's miracle, while quietly wondering if their turn will ever come. You see the ones who have been standing on that platform, watching train after train arrive for everybody but them. God, Heal the wounded receiver right now. Heal the part of them that flinches when good news comes. Heal the part that waits for the other shoe to drop. Heal the reflex that says, protect yourself, instead of open yourself. Restore expectancy, Lord. Not naive hope, not wishful thinking, the deep, anchored, unshakable expectancy that your word promises in Jeremiah 29:11, plans for a future, plans for hope, not for harm. Give them courage to receive. Because receiving, Lord, real receiving takes more courage than most people know. It means standing in the open. It means trusting that the rain is coming before a single drop has fallen. Protect them in the next 48 hours. Protect their mind from the voices that will try to talk them back into smallness. Protect their spirit from the familiar comfort of low expectations. Protect their sleep, their peace, their clarity. Remove every internal wall, every invisible barrier they built to keep pain out that has also been keeping blessing out. Let those walls come down now, gently, completely, by the power of your grace. And Lord, let them recognize the moment when it arrives. Let them not miss their Kairos because they were still living in Chronos. Let them feel the shift. Let them walk through the open door without flinching. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Chosen one, I want to leave you with this. Think of a house that has kept its shutters closed through a long, bitter winter. Dark inside, cold inside, safe inside, but not alive inside. And then one morning, without fanfare, without announcement, someone walks to the window and pushes those shutters open. And the light does not ask permission, it just floods in. That is what is happening in your spirit right now. The winter was real. The closed shutters made sense for the season. But this is not that season anymore. And the light has been waiting right outside that window the whole time. Your hands are open now. Your spirit has made room. And what has been circling your life close enough to feel but too far to touch is beginning its final approach. Do not shrink now. Do not talk yourself out of this moment the way you have talked yourself out of others. Isaiah 60:1 says it plainly. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Not is coming, has come. If this message spoke directly to your spirit today, type right now, my hands are open. And if you know someone who has been waiting so long they forgot how to expect someone whose hope has gone quiet, send this to them tonight. Be the runway light that tells them the landing is near. And when the next 48 hours begin to shift and they will come back, leave your testimony, because someone else needs to see that the wait was worth it. What has been waiting for you may already be closer than your fear can measure. Do not shrink now. Open your hands. Heaven knows your name, and this may be the hour you finally receive.